Hi, and welcome to another episode from Hungry for More. I'm Jennifer Winder, and this is Robin Mons. And we may look the same as our last episode. And that's because we got done recording and we were like, okay, we need to talk about this. It was something we addressed. Always in an episode, we get lots of ideas, or when we're coaching clients or whatever it is, that's where our ideas come from. But when we were talking about where does the need to change come from, right? Is it from a place of positive? Is it a place from negative? Robin made the comment in there, listening to your body is loving your body. And I wrote it down. I'm like, that is so true. Listening to your body is loving your body. So think about caring relationships you have in your life. Are your most caring relationships with people who don't listen to you at all? Like, I have lots of friends, but then I have my inner circle of friends that listen to my words. It's when they say, hey, how is your day going? They wait and listen for the answer. It's not, hey, how are you? And they're running off. And I do that too, right? I
Right.
do that to people, but you have these people that you care for and they care for you and they listen to you. And that's what we're asking you to do is
With
to
your
love yourself enough to listen to yourself. And the thing is, the flip side of that is also when you have somebody that you care for and that you love, and they come to you and they say, oh my gosh, I've done this. I totally messed up and blah, 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 blah. Do we say, yeah, you suck. You really did mess up.
Mhm.
Game over. No, we are like, no, you're fine. You did that. You learned from it. So what are we going to do moving forward to make sure that that outcome doesn't happen again? What if you were that friend that you were talking to like that? We're so good about telling other people how they can transform and change and learn from what they did. But then when we fall short of what we've tried to do, boy, it's really easy to be like, you are so lame. I can't even believe you did that. So
Right.
when we're talking about listening to your body is loving your body, or listening to yourself is loving yourself, if you look at it as your dearest, closest person to you and how you listen and love them, we're asking you to take that inward and do the same thing for yourself.
Yeah. This reminds me of something we say a lot is that your body really is your most intimate relationship and your most intimate partner that you have because you are not the body. You have this body, you're housing this body
Right.
and in relationship to it. So just like any loving, healthy relationship, you want to be heard, you want to be seen, and you want to be taken care of, right? From a place of love. And that is how we want to cultivate that attitude towards a body that we hear her in my case, right? I hear her, I listen to the cues she's giving me. But then, like you pointed out, okay, it's one thing to listen, but now how am I going to respond? Is it going to be in a loving way? And sometimes the response that comes from a loving way is a verbal, right? A thought we have, but sometimes the response is an action. So, for example, if my body is telling me, I've had enough, please stop eating. And I say, you know what? I don't care. I'm going to keep eating because this is good. And you're just going to have to deal with it. That's the response I'm talking about, right? That's an
Right.
action that we're taking. Is the action of saying, I don't care, you're going to have to just deal with it because I want it. Is that a loving response to the cue your body gave?
Right.
And not to be set so you feel shame around it, but it's truly assessing that. Where's my relationship at? Am I a good listener and a loving responder to the body? And how do we listen to the body? How does the body communicate to us? Through cues, right? As far as hunger goes, it's through cues. It's letting us know when we're hungry. You're going to get the cue, and you're also going to get the cue that says, I'm done. But also, emotions, everything, every need, every experience you're having is being communicated to you through the body.
Right. Right. So with what you're saying, if let's talk about conventional diets because we know there's some really rigid diets out there. And conventional diets aren't listening to your body. They're listening to what somebody else is telling you to do. Eat this much, eat it at this time, stop when this is here. What if I finish my plate of food and I'm still hungry, but I can't eat? Or vice versa of that is, What if I'm at a restaurant and then, some of these restaurants just pile on the food and you're like, I got to eat it all, but I'm not listening to my body because I'm actually full. It
Right.
kind of goes both ways with that. And I want to also add this in because I can hear a few people right now. It doesn't mean that there aren't certain ways that you can eat, that you choose to eat, that make your body feel great. Like, you can do that, but it's still with the conscious. It's not, it's your body telling you when you're hungry. It's your body telling you when you're full. It's not, I just will never forget when I had a nutritionist. My morning snack would come and I would take a cheese stick and cut it in 12 slices because I was allowed to have 12 wheat thins, and I'd put one little slice of cheese on every single wheat thin. I never asked myself if I was hungry, and I definitely knew I could have eaten more after that if I was hungry, but I just ate it and I savored every little morsel until it was my next time slot to eat. Absolutely zero consciousness at
Right.
all.
Listen,
It doesn't
right.
mean that wasn't a delicious snack. I'm sure I love that snack, but
Mhm.
that was the time I was supposed to eat it. And when I was done with it, it was done.
Right. Yes. So it is, it never invited or required you to listen. So even if there is a certain way, right? So if somebody eats paleo, somebody eats keto, if somebody does the Whole30 or
Counts
somebody's
macros, does whatever, because they like to do that.
right, gluten-free or whatever, that those are just neutral possibilities out there to try and interact and see how it works with your body. What is the mentality? That's the difference, right? So the diet itself doesn't provide you a mentality, eating a certain way. It's how we're used to thinking when we are choosing one of these things and implementing it to our life. That's the diet mentality we're talking about. And it normally is, hey, expert outside of me, tell me
Right.
exactly how much, when, how often, what, and everything. And so it requires truly, and I've been that trainer that says, here's what you're allowed to have. Here's not what you're allowed to have. Here's when. Not once was my counsel listen to your body and respond accordingly. That just wasn't. So
No.
that's the water we've been swimming in. That's the thing we've done. That's okay. But it's also caused us a lot of problems.
Right.
We feel very like at some point we hit that wall and we're like, I'm so being tired of being told when I'm allowed to do things or eat things, right? Even assigning, I would assign people when they were allowed to have a treat. That
Yeah.
came from my authority,
Right.
right?
Oh,
And
I've
so,
had people say, write down what you do. I'm going to do exactly what you do. So they're
yeah,
listening to my body.
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly. And so this, like we said in the last episode, clicking in and getting into this place where the conscious practice itself is a loving practice. It's because it requires you to listen. It requires you to turn your brain on and consult with the body before you react to that desire to eat and say, hey, well, what's going on? You tell me. Is this you, body, asking me to eat? Or is it my mind suggesting I eat because it has all these patterns and things that I'm used to grabbing food for, but that have nothing to do with hunger? And then the response, again, the response matters. Have you ever talked to someone and you're like, I know you're hearing my words, but you don't understand me, based on their response?
mhm.
That's the same thing. Now we have a responsibility to respond to what we just heard from the body. We have
Right.
a choice, and we're not going to be perfect at it. But do you have that intention of like, I am going to give you what you actually need? And sometimes what is being expressed through the body is not a hunger need. It's something else. It's an emotional need, or it's just showing you, hey, you've got this certain pattern that every morning at 10:30 you head to the pantry.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're listening, here's the pattern. Just so you know, you're doing this and I'm actually not asking you for it. And you're like, oh,
Right.
okay. And
Right.
so when you make decisions from a place of listening and understanding and responding, it's not even feeling like you're on any sort of diet. So say you are eating the keto way, say you are eating a vegetarian way or whatever. still the decision you're making of when you're eating has nothing to do with the actual way of eating. It's truly your body leading the way and you responding to it.
Right.
Such a difference.
Right.
Such,
No, and it is truly the best thing you can do for your body. It's such a good feeling to feel it, well, to feel hungry, like
yeah.
actual hunger.
Yeah.
Because when you live in this world where you never have to feel hungry, food is available at all times. So listen to that. Love your body. You're going to feel better all around, not just physically, but your mind is going to be cleared from this pressure, and love yourself like you love your dearest friends.
Yeah.
Listen to yourself like you listen to them, and you're going to come out ahead, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, very true. And isn't it neat that that actually yields true results?
It does.
So we are here talking about mindset, and a lot of the things we talk about, we hope is an uplifting message and all that. But at the end of the day, friends, this really is what drives you to the results you're looking for. So you can do that while listening and responding with love, meaning I'll give you what you're actually in need of. Or you can do the very same things from a place where you're not even connected to yourself and you're just forcing it on you.
Yeah.
Big difference. And one is sustainable, one is not. We'll let you guess which one. So, but yeah, listening to your body is loving.
Yeah,
Is
absolutely. Yeah. Put it to the test, like I tell you with everything.
yeah,
It'll change your life.
that's the only way to know is apply it.
All right.
All right, that's a wrap. Thank
Hey,
you.
see you next